I feel like this podcast has been a safe haven for artists to really rant about how they feel about the music industry.
Just walked in there and I was like, what's going on?
Nah, man, I'm too gangster for that. I'm too this for that.
Freaking Billboard hits and they can't pay rent. When I was up there, I used that moment to talk about master royalty points.
We are at the Ivors Award. It's a very prestigious event.
One of my favorite moments was when you auditioned for the Intent Free.
I get out the gun and I'm like,
What's your writing process like? Do you write to music or do you write?
Sometimes I get ideas from your podcast as well.
Really?
Now you're going to try and get my publishing.
Oh, he definitely would. He's been trying to steal people's awards all night.
oh my God, so many funny moments.
I was kind of bribed.
Go or we will beat you.
I think it drives a lot of what artists do, what everyone does. You know, you never quite feel like you're good enough.
Amazing guests.
I've laughed the most I ever laughed this year because of this podcast.
I want to do like a sex tape and release it on OnlyFans. This is the +44 podcast. I'm Zeze Millz.
Yeah, what's that about?
What was that all
And
about?
I'm Sideman. Music,
Culture.
UK. This is +44 from Wondery. Hello, YouTube. You are watching the +44 podcast highlights. If you want to listen to the full thing, you can listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up later in the show, we look back at season 2 best moments. But first, here are some highlights of us at the 2023 Ivor Novello Awards. We are here with Kojey Radical and Swindle. How are you feeling?
Hello, yeah, I'm feeling good.
The Ivors, songwriting. You guys, you're nominated, right?
Best contemporary song.
Lovely.
Love that.
When you guys all came together, it was a night. It was a really beautiful moment. Was it deliberate?
Going Away was deliberate. So this particular song, we did that Real World, and we went there with like a bunch of artists.
What's Real World for the uninitiated?
It's like England's super studio. It's like the best studio in the country, I would
The countryside,
say.
it's like...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like self-contained. It's like little lakes. And
What
like,
happens in the writing camps? Just writing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like,
In my head, there's girls at the writing camp.
Yeah, that's what I think as well.
There's no girls.
There's
at the
no
writing
girls.
camp.
There's women, as in like
they're
they're
artists.
talented singers, songwriters, and all that stuff. But like,
No distractions.
No
No
distractions.
Okay.
And that's the point.
I feel really connected to the Ivors, really because of you. Because when you came on the show and you was like saying all
Talking
the things
about
that you
the
said about the
songwriters.
songwriters and them not getting the spotlight they deserve.
When I was up there, I used that moment to talk about master royalty points.
We didn't know that before you. So thank you for that information.
You educated us.
Thanks for giving me the platform and for even caring.
Oh my God, Charli XCX is here.
You felt like it was out of your reach. You're here now. You've received an award. Do you still feel like that, or do you feel like, okay, I'm here and I deserve to be?
You know, I think there's always this sort of like imposter syndrome thing going on. So I don't feel like
Well, you're not an imposter.
But
You're
I
supposed
also
to be,
think that's sort of what drives so much of...
And it keeps you grounded as well.
Yeah,
In a
of
weird way,
course.
it does.
Yeah.
it does.
I think it drives a lot of what artists do, what everyone does. You know, you never quite feel like you're good enough. Yeah, therapy. But,
For people that don't know, Camille is a bad girl writer.
Thank you.
You have written for everybody.
Thank you.
How does it feel now to be like, yes?
A lot of the time as a writer, you're kind of behind the scenes
Yeah.
and you're not really spoken for or seen or heard. So I think this is like evidence and proof that I did work really hard the last 10 years. And
100%.
I've had a lot of success. I can go and chill now for a bit, I feel like. Although I probably won't.
You won't. I know
won't,
you
I
won't.
won't.
No, I don't like
This
to
is
encourage
the
that.
same
Chill if you want to chill. Chill if you know what I mean. What's your writing process like? Do you write to music or do you write to the
It
site?
depends what mood I'm in because I produce as well. So I'll be on the piano or be making a beat and then I'll get on it or I'll have an idea or I'll listen to someone. Sometimes I get ideas from your podcast as well.
Really?
I do.
Which song did you get from?
I don't want to tell you because now you're going to try and get my publishing.
Oh, no.
We would never do
I
such
feel
a
like
we would never do such a
I don't know.
thing.
He definitely would. He's been trying to steal people's awards all night.
It's very heavy, you know.
Where can I
Yeah,
again?
no,
This is the first time we're
I
actually
nearly
listening
dropped
to
it. It's heavy.
You dropped it?
I nearly dropped it on the stage. It was so heavy.
It's weighty.
That is a serious thing. Like,
Oh my God. Oh, I was not expecting that. Whoa.
it's
yeah, you think
serious.
serious? Yeah, it's
and I've just had a baby, so I thought like when he gets a bit
Yeah,
bigger, I
do you
can
know what?
show.
I literally was like, I swear the last time I saw Camille, you was fully pregnant.
He was belly in bed.
But you know when
Belly
you
was
can't
belly.
remember and you're like, let me not say nothing just in case I'm getting you mixed up with someone else. And obviously, babe, how have you been? How was it? How was it going?
Well, it's been interesting. Like, to be fair, the birth was really easy.
Okay.
I had a good birth.
Nice.
It was
You know,
chill.
there's moms listening now. There's
I
like,
know.
was it now? For
It
you?
doesn't always go that way. But I mean, I feel like it's down to your mental a lot.
Oh,
first.
now
You
you're
need
trying to really get the hate. Somebody with a C-section was like, it's down to my mental, is it? Is that why they caught me?
I just mean in terms of the way you enter into that. It's like going into a fight or going into... It's like you've got to prepare for battle, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I did. But I mean, he's here and he's amazing. And I love him so much.
I feel like this podcast has been a safe haven for artists to like really rant about how they feel about the music industry.
We've had quite a few. RAYE was on here saying about the writing.
I spent so much time with so many incredible songwriters with top 10 freaking Billboard hits and they can't pay rent.
That's
what?
mad.
And it's evil. For every song that is released out in the world, there is 100 royalty points on a record, right? It's how a song is monetized. It is how radio will pay the writers, creatives, and the labels. It's how a song has its worth. And the wildest thing to me is with 100 points, 100 royalty points, a songwriter who has contributed to a record, written a record, even crafted the record entirely, is entitled to, ask me how many points.
How many points?
Guess.
I think it's like 3 points.
Okay.
Maybe like 10, 20?
Zero.
Why?
It's just not custom.
We had Bree talking about her record label.
Sometimes it'll be the most basic stuff that don't get handled and I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. And today's one of those days I'm like, I've lost it.
We had Wes talking about him leaving his label.
The working relationship and the amount of music that I wanted to get out just wasn't enough. Like I've released, in 3 years, 5, 6 songs?
And we had Fleur East.
Talking about that as well,
how frustrated she was on Simon Cowell's Psycho record label as well.
Can you imagine doing sessions 6 days a week for 2 years? Creatively, I was drained. And can you imagine as well, I was still so linked to X Factor and that platform that I was going to all these red carpets and all these huge events and everywhere I'm going. So Fleur,
where's the new music?
What's going on? Where's the new music? And at first I could like lie and go, no, it's coming, really excited. And then it got to the point where I was like, I actually don't even want to lie anymore. Like I just said to my team, I was like, don't send me to these things. It's funny because the story is always like, oh, you got dropped and everyone's been dropped. I literally walked into the office and I essentially asked them to let me go.
We just create that nice space for all of our guests. They just feel like they can be free.
Yeah.
We create a nice, safe space for them.
One of my favorite moments was when producer J5 explained his reasons for wanting to become an artist. Check it out.
So it's always been a struggle to get artists to be a bit more creative. They're like, nah, man, I'm too gangster for that. I'm too this for that. A lot of the time they're like, a song is amazing, but they don't want to put it in their project because they feel it don't fit with what they portray. That started irritating me a lot because a lot of good songs weren't making albums and I was just like, I want to get the song. Let me put it out. I'll stand. If it doesn't do well, it's on me, innit?
We even had artists in the same group doing each other dirty, although technically they wasn't actually a group at that point, so.
Yep, here's J1 telling the story of how he stole A1's beat and leaked it on TikTok. That song happened to be their first hit single, latest trends.
Bro, I was like, this is a banger. I was like, give me the instrumental. He wasn't trying to give me the instrumental for it. I was like, I was holding it hostage for time. Like 3 days later, gave me the instrumental. I wrote a verse. Let me just put this on TikTok without telling A1 or telling no one.
Got excited.
Oh, nah.
Got excited.
Wow. What kind of pagan story is this?
You got excited. You see, when I saw him post it, I called his line. I was like, bro, we there.
So, David, we've been through 2 seasons of the podcast. Today you look a little bit better, but it's getting better. I feel like because I've just been getting on to you for the whole pod about how you dress.
You've been doing a great job of also, getting the guests to pick on me as well. Here's Millions joining in with you.
I don't know what's going on
When I have
here.
the kind of budget to make music videos in foreign Atlantic lands,
I don't think that's that.
It's not.
You know,
because
it's the socks, you know.
What's wrong with my socks?
You should have worn white socks or grey socks.
Yeah, it should. Yeah, exactly. And also, I've never been one to do this, but you could have at least run an iron over that. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Nothing compared to when you picked on me when we had the interview with Scarlette Douglas, where I learned that Fashion Week runway shows are like 10 minutes in total.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
So you're not into fashion?
Can we just take a minute? David, why would you care about fashion? Look at what you are wearing. And you're fixing your mouth.
You talk about young people. I don't stop you from talking about young people, even though you can't relate to them.
I can, because I was once a young person.
Yeah,
you,
but that was
however,
so
have
long.
never been able to dress. So you're speaking on things that you cannot speak on.
That week was rough for me. I thought about whether I was ever going to come back.
Yeah, because you trying to do up like, you know, like one of those people that don't get invited to the party.
Yeah, so
and they'll be like, oh, yeah, they'll be like, oh.
Are you hating from outside the club when you can't even
Basically,
get in?
yeah.
I get that.
That was my caption on my Insta post when I put it up. It was like, oh, David, don't be a hater.
Yeah, speaking of times you've verbally assaulted me, one of my favorite moments was when you auditioned for Femi and Nikki for the Intent Free.
I wonder if they're going to put me in it.
Yeah, especially with that pew pew sound, they have to put you in
I know.
it.
I've been practicing.
Yeah, let's run that clip.
One day we're in the house and the house gets raided by the ops, right? So
Not the police, the ops.
Ops.
Okay.
Then I have to get out.
It sounds like somebody white trying to cover it under pressure.
Wait. I'm not sold. I'm not sold.
The ops raid the house.
Okay.
That's not police.
Okay.
Hey, you said
so the
yes,
ops
bad.
raid the house, but as they're raiding, I'm having like a passionate, intimate scene, I don't know, with like Gets' character. And I know where the gun is.
So you
right?
start
So
busting
I
guns.
get out the gun, I'm like, poo, 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 poo.
That'll be the start of the film, like, for no reason.
For no reason.
You're gonna have everyone ringing us, boy.
In fact, you've been pitching yourself quite a lot because you've been pitching yourself for being in artist music videos or being in cameos, and it's like a weekly occurrence. Here's you pitching to Popcaan to be in his music video.
I heard the song with you and Sus.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hard.
It's a banger.
When's it going to come out?
This year.
Can I be in the music video?
Of course.
Wow. I feel like it's like a cowboy. Are you going to do like... Are you going to do cowboy thing?
Like some Western film.
Yeah, and I could just be on the horse like...
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd love to be in the back.
Oh, gosh. I stay in music videos, to be fair.
You do? Which has been your favourite so far?
Probably Stormzy, obviously.
Mel Made Me Do It.
Mel Made Me Do It.
Yeah.
I got to meet Jonathan Ross. I met Louis Theroux. I met Dean Asher Smith. It was... we had a good time. Do you know what was the most annoying part? Was sitting on it for that long though. Because I filmed in April and it didn't come out until November. One thing that the podcast hasn't been short of is a drama. I can't believe you had you didn't really have the guts to tell Shaq to his face. You was skirting around it or like the whole episode. So you didn't really, go as hard as you could have gone.
Let's run the clip.
I was an airport security officer.
Oh, really?
So when you had the oversized liquids and all that stuff, I was the one taking it out of your bag.
Boo.
It was me.
My issue, Shaq, the way I see things, you're bound to go back.
I get what you're saying, but even Ekansu and Davide, where are they?
They ain't back at work.
But he's not either.
The next Love Island, right, is around the corner.
Yeah, but my whole point-
I promise you, your engagement is gonna plummet like the literal Titanic.
Are Shaq and Tanya still together?
I wish them the best and God bless. I try to stay away. And
I think they are together. None of them are together.
It's
Sammy, Tom and Sammy, they broke up. They broke up.
Yeah. Shocking. With all the sexual compatibility and chemistry. It's just
No, but the
crazy.
distance will always thing. Do you know what? There's a lot of relationships in life that just don't work out because of life. And I think people don't take that into consideration. Do you know what I mean? Life will put a lot of barriers in place and you have to kind of really fight for it.
That's
if that
true.
makes sense.
Another common theme on the podcast has been, relationship advice, which you aren't qualified to give. And this is the moment where you were dropping some real game for the ladies to A1 and J1 when it comes to paying the bill on a date.
The way I would even ask you, it will blow your mind. So you wouldn't even know that what's happened. I will say the way to get around it, ladies, bust you on game right now, yeah. Third date in, the guys are probably going to be looking at you like, rah, she's even offered. This is the type of girl I'm dealing with, rah. Don't pretend to reach for your card. You look at them dead in the eye and you say, do you need help with that? Now, any man is never going to allow you to help them.
Went kind of viral with that. Did you see the comments?
I did.
How did you feel about them? Found out you were an evil genius?
The ladies loved it. I was all for it.
We got a lot of family relationships moment as well when Davido was telling us about how he went back to uni to kind of like...
Oh, just to help,
make his dad happy.
I was forced back to uni.
I knew it.
I was kind of bribed.
Who bribed you?
My dad wanted me to go to school, so I was like, it wasn't it for me.
Right, okay.
He's like, okay, if I go to school, he has one land not far, you build me a studio.
And special shout out to you, Zeze, for the Woman in Music live special episode.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun.
Where you held it down with 13 guests on the panel.
People don't believe I'm a manager. I can't get into festivals. I've been thrown off stages.
We actually get judged for everything, how we look, how we speak, how we dress.
For the longest time, I've been feeling like society's doomed for failure, innit?
If you put your hand in, you'll feel it.
That's what she said.
Pause. we've been programmed to think only one of us can come through. And then especially if you're a woman of color,
It's our responsibility to really fight against that. Like, no, this person's not my op.
When girls play games, I'm telling you, boys they hate it.
Really?
It's because you're better than them.
When you're dealing with so much more than what men are dealing with, I'm just being real. Like, they don't have to have a period every month, bear a child. Do you know what I mean? It's important for us to remember how incredible we are and give ourselves the time.
I wasn't allowed to release music for ages as well, so it was just jarring.
Why?
Because I was owned by the man and now I'm not.
So what's more attractive to you in a partner? Looks, personality, or finance?
Oh,
right?
I thought that would have been nerve-wracking for you.
No, but
you say so much stuff about so much people. Of like 13 women, she's got to have talked about one of them.
LaFamilia, we had our little disagreement. I had my opinion. Whenever I give my opinion, it's not because I dislike the person. Do you get what I mean? It's just that's my opinion on that current thing. That's how I feel. I'm not against them. I don't think you have to like everyone, but I think you can respect people and you can have conversation with them. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to be best mates with every single person, but as long as you can be cordial and professional and, you know, have good conversation, then I think I'm all for it.
When you're assured of yourself, there's nobody that can even sit next to you, let alone compete with you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. And I vouch for you on that one.
Thank
You're a
you.
real one.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, this has been an amazing experience, season 2. We've had so much funny moments.
Oh my God, so many funny moments,
Yeah.
so much jokes, amazing guests.
I've laughed the most I ever laughed this year because of this podcast.
If I'm not married by the age of 40 and have kids, I want to do like a sex tape and release it on OnlyFans. What do you do during the week?
Laugh. You want me to laugh harder than the scream that I screamed?
No, please.
Exactly.
No. That's
exactly.
Oh, that scream.
Are you alright, bro?
Yeah, because I'm Sure. You're so loud.
That's impressive, though. I'm not gonna sing it.
Hey, that's the hardest I've laughed this year.
That laugh would make me stop dating you.
Yeah, that's why we're not dating.
That's not the reason why we're not dating. The reason why we're not dating is because you can't date me.
That's also another reason.
They don't try and make it out like because we've tried and then you laughed and I was like, oh, no.
No, I mean, when you find your person, they'll love your laugh, innit? Right?
Do you believe that there's one person?
I don't know if I believe there's one person for people, but I believe that there are just a set of people on this earth that you'll be more compatible with than others. All my peoples around me now, not so much before, but all my peoples around me now that I interact with on a day-to-day can stand me. And I love them for that because I know I'm not.
Yeah, you're a lot.
Yeah, I know I'm a lot. And you're one of them.
What?
You can stand me and
Yeah,
that's
I know. I just block you out. I
Yeah.
just like, but that's what people probably do to me as well.
Yeah.
They probably like just mute
But
me
they
while
love
I'm
you
talking.
enough. They love you enough to block you out and still go back to it knowing they'll have to do that sometimes. That's just love.
Yeah, I know.
Beautiful. But yeah, the podcast has been a wonderful experience. Shout out to Amazon. Shout out to Wondery. Shout
Big
out
up
to,
Amazon.
Big shout out to Delisa, the head boss. Shout out to So Incredible, who have done a great job of producing. And just shout out to the whole team. And shout out to you for all the moments we have created. We've gone through them this episode and yeah, it's emotional.
I know. It's been fun. Hopefully we come back.
Hopefully we do this again.
Hopefully. I mean, cost of living crisis, you know.
Cost of lives.
So maybe we won't be back.
Yeah.
But if we're not back, we'll be back.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
We're gonna come back.
We come back.
One way or another.
Why is your jacket so tight?
That one, I know.
Sitting on the fact that obviously we had to sign NDAs. Up until this point, I don't actually know how nothing ever leaked. There were so many people in that video. But when I went to the toilet, I also had a peruse. I went to
Zeze,
see
you know how wild that sounded?
What?
When I went to the toilet, I had a That's how the sentence started.
Yeah, peruse, and it was really. I loved it.
You was networking while I was sitting here by myself.
Do what I needed to do because we're streaming live.
You were streaming. You were streaming off live.
Yeah, so I basically.
You went to do your own stream.
As much as I give you stick, you are my genuine friend. I love and I care about you, and I will headbutt a bit. So before we go, make sure you check out all the new releases this week across the +44 playlist on Amazon Music. You can download the Amazon Music app or just ask Alexa.
As well as the main Plus 44 playlist, we also have the R&B playlist, the rap playlist, and the Afro playlist. You have been listening to the Plus 44 podcast from Amazon Music with me, Sideman.
And me, Zeze Millz.
Listen to the Plus 44 podcast wherever you get your podcasts or listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music.